Okay, the last subtopic for this chapter is designing interactive dashboard. Okay, so this is something very interesting. Okay, you will, in terms of project development, you will learn how to develop or to create interactive dashboard. But before that, we have to understand what is the concept of dashboard. Okay, so a dashboard is a type of graphical user interface which often provides at a glance views of key performance indicators that are relevant to a particular objective or business process. Okay, so another name for dashboard is progress report or report, and they are considered as a form of data visualization. Okay, so in this dashboard, okay, meaning that when you produce dashboard, so it can helps user to have an overview, okay, of the overall data analysis, okay, for example the performance, okay, in the performance of organization, okay, in their business. Okay, so remember that in the target audience, okay, in the data context subtopic that we learned last week, okay, dashboard could be something very good and it could also be something that is not good. Okay, so we have to be selective on what we want to show on our dashboard. Okay, so if we put too many information, so the audience will get lost and cannot focus on the information that you want to uh, emphasize. Okay, so dashboard allows user to understand the analytics, okay, that matter to their business, department or project. Okay, so for non-technical users, dashboards allow them to participate and understand the analytics process by compiling data and also by visualizing trends and occurrences. Okay, this is very important because we want to know the trends and occurrences so that we can visualize and see, okay, this is the overall picture. But then in order for the audience to know why that certain graph goes down and goes up, then only you show them, okay, in a specific, okay, charts, okay, with specific interpretation, okay, to make sure that, in order to make sure that the audience, okay, understands what are the information that you want to show or that you want to emphasize. Okay, so that's why in dashboard, okay, even in visualization, okay, the elements of colors, okay, elements of uh, okay, text and so on, okay, will actually plays, okay, important role, okay, in order to create users or audience focus on the visuals that you display. Okay, if it's too many colors, they cannot focus on what information that you want to show. Okay, so you have to be very specific, okay, okay, on what you want to show. Okay, so dashboard fits more in the exploratory analysis, okay, meaning that you see that in a holistic view, okay, but it is also useful for explanatory analysis, okay, meaning that if you want to zoom in further into a specific part of this analysis, so once the audience know in general, then you zoom into a detail, okay, analysis or explanatory analysis. Okay, so if you remember in the understand data context, we discussed about exploratory, which is holistic approach, whereas explanatory is the analytical approach where you go into detail. So it could be useful and could be vice versa. Okay, so it depends on how we represent, okay, our dashboard. Okay, what are the advantages of dashboard? Okay, so as we know, dashboard has all metrics on a single page or screen to scan through the data. So this is the advantage. So we can look whether things are in line with what we expect, and also whether they are not in line with what we expect. Okay, so we have assumptions, okay, that sometimes audience want to dig for more data or information. Okay, so okay, this is a statement by the author of the textbook, okay, Netflix. Okay, mentioned that, she says that dashboard has something to pick out. Okay, it has some pick up, meaning that something must be interesting there, and audience would start to dig in on that. And then when you can find the interesting thing, then instead of using dashboard to communicate instead of using dashboard to communicate, audience should switch to explanatory analysis to just focus on that interesting thing. Okay, so that's why we can provide them with dashboard so that they can have a holistic view, okay, of the overall analysis. Okay, but then when you want the audience to focus on a specific parts of that analysis, okay, so then only, okay, we can switch to explanatory by focusing on that particular information. Okay, so audience should not necessarily confine themselves to the dashboard, meaning that by looking at dashboard is just not enough for them to understand the overall analysis of the data or for them to make decision. So yes, they can use this as a brief, okay, or preliminary information, but then they have to be more detailed, okay, by going into a specific analysis, so that, okay, they can make, okay, the right decision. So that's why audience, okay, we mentioned here, should not necessarily confine themselves to the dashboard. So they have to explore more. They cannot just okay, and look and have the summary and then make some justification or make some assumptions. So they have to go into a detailed analysis by looking the general analysis. Okay, so in terms of the design approach, okay, that we will learn later in chapter 4. Okay, so we have to reduce the use of colors, because if you use so many colors on dashboard, you can lose your audience attention. So audience might not know what to focus. Okay, so so this is one of the tips that you have to apply, okay, in your analysis. But later on, okay, don't worry, we will learn in detail about types of visualization, okay, the technique, okay, the technique of visualization in terms of colors and design in chapter 4. Okay, so of course there are also drawbacks of dashboard. Okay, so the one of the disadvantage is that the challenge of communicating to audience with dashboard is that by showing them too much information, it is hard to draw their attention to one particular place. Okay, so that is a drawback of dashboard. So because they are overloaded with information, so they don't know what to focus into. Okay, so you may control your audience attention through the use of appropriate colors, okay, such as gray, and using color as a categorical differentiator but not as visual clue to draw audience attention. Okay, so this is a good example. Okay, for example, you use less color, okay, and it helps, and also good color choice. For example, this red color, okay, can create audience attention towards the specific data context. So we actually want to stress on this the year of 2011. So we put that appealing color, that is red color. Okay, so the gray one is the it's not that we want the audience to look into detail. Okay, so this is what we meant, okay, by using the right color. Okay, so as compared to this previous chart, okay, so it's very colorful, so you don't know where to focus or where to emphasize, okay, or to zoom in into the information displayed on this dashboard. Okay, so what is interactive dashboard? Okay, so interactive dashboard creates engagement with audience, okay, engagement with audience by helping audience to dig more points and information. Okay, so it is one of the really powerful thing about the interactive visualization. Okay, so this is only true, or we can only apply this if the users or the audience, okay, view your analysis on using a computer with internet connection. But if you perform your analysis or you produce your analysis on a paper form, okay, or in a printed form, so of course you don't have this element of interactive. Okay, so you will learn how to create, okay, interactive dashboard using Microsoft Excel later. Okay, so you can try go to this website and see, okay, how does this interactive dashboard really helps user to understand data. Okay, for example, the New York Times, okay, they have this option in their website, okay, so that it helps user to engage user, okay, with the information that they want to show, okay, in their visualization. Okay, so this is the New York Times. Okay, you try and go to this website. Okay, you can see that this is the COVID world map, okay, tracking the global outbreak. Okay, so if you put your cursor on the chart, okay, it will show you, okay, information. Okay, so you can go for each country to see, okay, their trends. Okay, Canada, what is their trend? So this is very interactive, so it creates excitement with the user, okay, on understanding the information that they want to show. Okay, you can see what are the total cases, total death, okay, per capita. Okay, you can go to the world map, okay, and see the, okay, information. Okay, so this is more interactive, and I'm sure that everyone, okay, every human being would love to have interactive, okay, visualization rather than static visualization. Okay, so go through and try to browse, okay, this have some experience, okay, on this interactive visualization. Okay, next, we want to know what are the tips for designing dashboards. Okay, so these are the tips that you can apply later. Okay, for example, you have to be clear what you are trying to achieve. Okay, your board's purpose will inform its design. Okay, and then only include what is important. Okay, don't put everything on your board. Okay, make sure that you should support your board's aim and intention. Okay, use size and position to show hierarchy. Okay, so size of the chart, okay, position, okay, of the chart. Okay, so make it clear to the audience what is the most important. Okay, the bigger the font size, okay, the bigger an object on the page, so we will understand that that is the hierarchy of importance. For example, in this slide, okay, so why does title always be in a bigger font size? Because we want to stress to reader that, okay, this slide is about tips for designing dashboard. So that's why we always put title with bigger font as compared to the content. Okay, and then give your numbers context. So meaning that if it's number, so make sure you put the measurement unit. For example, is it in centimeter, is it in years, so that user can interpret the data. Okay, and also to know whether the data is in good or bad. Okay, so if it's bad, so you can represent with the red color, for example. Okay, maybe then the cases is high, so you put red color so that it shows that there is not good good signs. Okay, group your related metrics, okay, so that your metrics can easily find. Be consistent, use the same visualization and layout to make comparing easier. Okay, use clear labels for your audience, keep them short and self-explanatory. Okay, use the right word, okay, the precise word, so that user will not ask, okay, will not lost, okay, will not lost with the information that you display. Okay, round your numbers, okay, because if you have too much detail, number could seem major. Okay, so if it's decimal numbers, just make it to up to one decimal number, for example. Okay, or round them to the nearest number. Okay, and then keep evolving your dashboard, so check that your dashboard is encouraging the right behavior. Okay, so you always check. Okay, so these are the tips for designing dashboards. Okay, and the last part of the slide is the different types of dashboard. So in this lesson, so I've identified 4 different types, okay, of dashboard. Okay, the first one is called operational, which helps the audience to see what is happening right now. Second is analytical dashboard. So this is to give audience a clear view of performance trends and potential problems. Okay, the third one is strategic dashboard. So this is to let audience track their main strategic goals, okay, via their key performance indicators. And the last one is platform dashboard. So this is an exceptional type of business intelligence dashboard. This is used more for social platform. So operational dashboard are used to show your audience their current status in your apps. Okay, so we use operational dashboard to display critical information that is time relevant. Okay, so for example, in a web analytic application, the operational dashboard could include information like active audience on site. Active audience on site, the top social referrals and page views per minute. So we can see the statistic here there, and we can make some assumption from that. Okay, so a classic example is Google Analytical Real-Time Dashboard. Okay, so this is a great way, okay, to let the audience, okay, check their status at a glance. Okay, and then you should structure them so that the most important data is visible at the top. Okay, at the top. Okay, this is by hierarchy. The one at the top is very important rather than the bottom. Okay, the one at the top left. Okay, the most important data is visible at the top left. Okay, at the top left. Okay, for the left to right reading language. Okay, for example, in the alphabet letters, okay, we read from left to right, but in Arabic you read from right to left. So whatever that you put on the left side is more important than the right side. I mean that audience, okay, their eyes will target to this left side here. Okay, so make sure you put all the information, the most important by hierarchy, on the left side. Okay, to help your audience get a snapshot as soon as they open the dashboard. So they can contain a few graphs, okay, but should not reflect detailed data views. Next is analytical dashboard. Okay, so in this type of dashboard, it is used to present key data sets to the audience, always reflected data against previous performance. Okay, so they should be data centric and show as many relevant data as is feasible. So this dashboard should lead with key account data front and center, and should also minimize graphical elements. Okay, so they serve as a barometer of the audience status, okay, in your application, and make it easier for the audience to spot problems. Okay, so this is for them to present data sets, okay, to audience to reflect against previous performance. Next is strategic dashboard. Okay, so these dashboard are used to indicate performance against a set of key performance index. So as you can see here, okay, it is a strategic in this strategic dashboard reflect how your audience is performing against their strategic goals and not much else. Okay, so basically they all look the same, but it has a different different focus. Okay, so basically you want to know performance. Okay, we reflect, okay, the data with the performance indicators. Okay, so it looks more concise. Okay, the information looks more concise. And the last one is platform dashboard. Okay, so this platform dashboard are used to give an audience access to control tools and analytics related to their account on a social platform. For example, in YouTube, okay, so you have your own dashboard, so you can see what videos that you have uploaded, what channels that you have subscribed. Okay, so it has there are also cards for channel analytics, comments, news, and tips. Okay, so this is what we meant by cards. Okay, this section, it has comments, it has news, and also it has tips. Okay, so these are different cards. So in the sidebar, audience can access a large number of tools. Okay, so these are tools, okay, to manage your account. And then YouTube keep things simple while giving the audience a complete control. Okay, so you don't see like those graph and charts like in operational dashboard and analytical dashboard. So this is an exception type of dashboard. Okay, so don't get confused. Okay, don't worry, we are not going to judge your dashboard whether they are operational, they are analytical, or they are strategic, or even they are platform, because we just want to introduce you, okay, with different types of dashboard, okay, classified by the subject. Okay, meaning that you have to have that knowledge that there are different kinds of dashboard. Okay, so I hope that you understand. Okay, to get this, understanding how to differentiate between one dashboard to another dashboard. Okay, because I admit that operational, analytical, and strategic, okay, they look the same. Okay, but they have a different emphasis. Okay, so basically that's all for this topic or this chapter, and I'll see you in the next chapter.